Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday to you all. And welcome to Writing Sprint Thursdays. As is the case usually, the chat is lively and popping off as we have come to love. Just moving my screens around just a second. I posted the link to the first writing sprint in the chat earlier, but I'm going to paste it again just in case anybody missed it. And let's see who else here with us today. I see. Let me scroll to the top. Boy, you guys are excited to be here. I love it. I love the energy that comes from writing sprints. Hello, B. Hello, Ashpash. Hello, NJ. Hello, Elena. Let's see who else. Hello, J.M. Brown. Hello, Reed. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Reed. Uh, I feel like hello, Erica. I feel like there's so many conversations going on here that I when I walked up to my desk here just a second ago, I think it was B that said Pluto will always be a planet, and I was like, "Yep, it's going to be a lively one today." Let's see who else is here. All right, Keo, nice to have you with us. NJ, don't know if I mentioned NJ already, but if I did, you know, sorry I mentioned you twice. Let's see, what's everybody working on today? Hello, Isabel. I said Isabel already. I'm sorry. What's everybody working on today? Hello, TW. Good to see you. Hello, Athena. Hello, Iva. Think I've gotten everybody. If I skipped over you, please forgive me. Um, I'm working on I'm I'm kind of between projects. I turned in a project to my publisher, Athon Publishers, the first sci-fi series that I've written and will be coming out in the near future. I'll get some better idea on dates pretty soon. Um, but and I have my nano book that I wrote last year that I am publishing at the end of our indie summer um, project. And so I have another trilogy that I've got mapped out that I'm writing for Athon. But before I did that, I was talking with Doug and Abby this morning, and Jacob and a couple of other folks in our Dabble chat. And I said, I've always been a fantasy fan. I read fantasy, I read sci-fi, I read thrillers, I read all over the place, and I love each of those for different reasons. But I've always been a fantasy fan. I grew up on Lord of the Rings and Terry Brooks and all of those formative tales, and I love it. But I've never written like an epic fantasy book, and I've always wanted to, but I always just kind of told myself, well, maybe I'm not ready, or I don't have something that would set it apart from other thing, whatever all the reasons are that you know, make for not doing something. But I said I'm gonna finally do it. So I've been brainstorming some because I love fantasy tropes. I love the farm boy who goes off on an adventure, the chosen one, the old wise mentor. I love all of those. But I wanted a new and fresh way to tell it, and I think I might have something. So I thought I'd start working on it and just see what happens. Hello, Sylvan. Nice to have you with us today. Um, Elena, Hank, you can do whatever you want. You know what, Elena? Thank you. You're absolutely right, and and I think I will. So thank you for that encouragement. Uh, Athena, yes, do it. My book's fantasy, and honestly, so I love it. So let's do it anyway. First sprint is underway. 20 minutes. I'll see you guys, and we'll see what happens. See you guys in 20. Okay, there is sprint number 1. Boy, I was having so much fun just, going through possibilities and, trying new things, and, uh, it's so fun going into a new writing project with I say no preconceived notions, but, I do have a lot of ideas, but really just kinda seeing how they're all gonna work together. Um, let's see. Sprint number 2 will be starting in about 4.5 minutes, and here is the link uh, to that. And let's see here. Um, I got 1,648 words, although that's not exactly true. I had some stuff written already in a text document that I pasted over. Probably, honestly, about 800 new words that I wrote there. But I'm building out. If you see in my story notes over here, I'm building out characters and the world and the magic system and the society, and I've got this corruption that I'm calling the stain, and these magical people, kind of like elves, and just having all kind of fun with it. Anyway, sprint number 2. Yeah, I posted the link there. Let's see. What'd you all get? Ashpash 1063, Athena 435, Aaron 71, B 664, Erica 269, Reed 466, SK. I joined with just 2 minutes left. Well, welcome in, SK. Come on, join the club. Elena 140, JM Brown 667, Sylvan 451, warming up the fingers. Yeah, nothing like getting the old uh joints limbered up, and the brain firing in creative mode. Emily says, I'm looking for book covers that I like. So no words to say. Well, that's okay, Emily. You're still moving your project forward, and however you choose to use this time where we come together and be creative as a group. That's perfect. And since we're doing this indie summer project, I think looking for covers is a fully appropriate way to spend your time. Uh, Keo said, I hate writing magic systems, but I love books with magic systems. Keo, that's so funny because that's one reason that I have hesitated to write a proper fantasy novel in the past. Is I just felt like that it didn't have um, a good enough hook, that what would really make a great magic system. And I love Brandon Sanderson's approach to magic system. There's always a logic to it. There's a cause and effect, and if you've read the Mistborn books, I love the magic system because it works on people eating pieces of metal, and then depending on what type of metal it is, when they burn it in their stomach, it produces certain effects and magical powers. And I always loved that, and I just didn't ever think that I had a great enough hook, but I might have. Anyway, I'm going to explore it and see if it's as good as I think it is or hope it is. And the old adage, you can't edit a blank page. So you start writing and then think, if I need to adjust or work on it later, at least I'll have something that I can work on instead of just thinking about what could be. Anyway, um let's see. B says, do you think fantasy books need to have a magic system created? Not necessarily, and it depends on if your story is dependent on magic. There's plenty of fantasy that really doesn't have much magic at all. Think of Game of Thrones is the first idea that comes up. There is magic in that world, but it's not as prominent as in other stories. And magic doesn't always have to be explained. But just because of the way that my mind works, I don't want it to just be kind of a hand wave. This guy just can point at things and they disappear. I want it to have a little more logic to it. So anyway, but no, yours doesn't have to. It all depends on the kind of story you're telling, the world you've created, and what expectations you set up for the reader from the beginning. Here we go, sprint number 2. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. And there's our countdown timer for the end of sprint number 2. Can you guys believe we've done 2 sprints already? It's going fast today. I'm in a creative zone, and I keep looking at the clock going, "Oh no, I only have a few more minutes." Um, let's see what you guys are up to. In the chat, tell me what genre you're writing in today. I'm my head is in fantasy mode, so I'm interested to see what everybody is up to. Let's see. Keo had to step out. Thanks for joining us, Keo. We'll see you next time. Um, I did notice, where did it go? I had a comment about magic systems. Reed says, Hank, a magic system doesn't need to be explained, but it helps if the writer at least understands it. That is an excellent point. You do not have to explain the mechanics of how your magic system works as long as the author understands what restraints he or she puts on themselves, and that you stay true to those restraints. What we hate to see is when magic becomes a crutch for getting the writer out of a bad writing situation. When you write yourself into a corner and someone can just wave their hand and magically get out of trouble. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to write yourself into a corner where your only option is to break your own rules. No one wants to see that. I'm going to put a link to sprint number 3 in the chat. And yeah, so let's see. What's everybody up to here? Susan said here for the second sprint. Well, I hope it was successful for you, Susan. Ashpash 944, B 616 for a grand total of 1389. Athena 446 words. Time goes so fast, honestly. I know, and especially when you're when the gears are turning, time gets away from you. Susan says she's writing new adult fantasy. Love that. Erica 212 words and also writing fantasy. Athena fantasy. Let's see. Fantasy seems to be very popular with our dabblers. I wonder what that says about us as a group of people. Let's see. Read 423 for a subtotal of 889. Miss Hart, YA dystopia. I love a good YA dystopia. That people talk about how certain genres go in and out of fashion, but YA dystopia may have moments where it's more popular, in times where it wanes a little bit. I think most everyone loves. I think people love a good cautionary tale, and YA dystopia is a perfect vehicle for that. Ashpash said, "I'm in the zone too, writing heartbreak from two characters' point of view." Love it. My wife and I were watching a movie last night, and it doesn't matter what movie it was, but there was a scene where it was actually a courtroom drama, and you saw the attorneys delivering closing arguments, but it kept switching between the prosecution and the defense, and they would like finish each other's sentences, but obviously from a different point of view. And it did a really great job. How they kept head hopping between there really helped you to see the nuance and what was going on. So I love that you're writing a heartbreak from two characters' point of view. That's great. Elena 123, SK Keating queer romance, I think. Let's see, Ashpash historical drama. B writing fantasy, unless you want more details as to what type. By all means, tell us all about it, B. We're all friends here. Reed says, I'm working on my sci-fi novel book 2 first draft. Love to see it. See, Danny, urban fantasy. Love a good urban fantasy. TW, sprints are going fast. It's a good thing. I'm buzzing off Hank's creative energy. Excellent. I'm so glad to be infectious. This is one of the few places that you could say that. J.M. Brown, 617. Emily, I found covers for literary fiction, and out of the 5, 2 were from the same author, so I looked up his cover designer. So interesting. Love that. we'll pick up on these comments at the end of the third sprint. See you guys in 20. All right. That's the end of sprint number 3. Can you believe it already? Um, I had one of those moments where I flipped over to my other screen. I started doing some Google research and fell down a rabbit hole of notes. So, yeah, so that happened. Let's see. We can pick up these comments. NJ writing sci-fi Voyager movie script. That sounds fun. JM Brown, I'm writing a YA romance because I've been addicted to them lately. LOL. That's that happens to me all the time. I find a genre I fall in love with and I go deep. Uh, let's see. B, my other story is YA horror with supernatural aspects. I love it. NJ said every other Star Trek got several movies. I just think Voyager deserves one too. Then by all means, give it all the love that you need to, NJ. That sounds amazing. Susan 193, NJ said also trying to learn how to write a script. I am all for that. I do things all the time just to figure out how it's done. Elena, it's romance, the one I'm writing now. Congratulations. Elena 293, Reed 487 for a total of 1376. Ashpash 799, that sprint 2809 total and daily total of 3698. Boom. Congratulations. Athena 697 for a subtotal of 1661 and a daily total of 4536. We'll all join in a happy dance for that. I have a 1093 today. I finished chapter 8. Congratulations. Miss Hart, 800 total words. Congratulations. B397 had a phone call. It happens. 1786 total today. That's everybody's turning in great numbers today. And any number greater than 0 is a great number. So pat yourself on the back. JM Brown 649, Erica 148. Almost done with this chapter. Susan 227, SK 1048. Over 2 sprints. Susan 193 was from second sprint. Congratulations. Great work, everyone. And I turned blurry. Oops. I need to adjust my camera. Well, I think that is the sprint's telling us it's time to dip out. Thanks for joining us, guys. We will be back next Tuesday for writing sprints with Abby, and Wednesday writing sprints with Doug, and Thursday I'll be back as I am every Thursday. Thanks for joining us all. Have a great weekend, and I hope you get all the words. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later.